today. Hey guys, it's me, May, and today I'm going to be talking about liminal spaces and why we are creeped out by them, the psychology behind it, what it means for you, and the importance of overcoming your fear of liminal spaces. And obviously, most people don't have like an intense phobia of liminal spaces, but it has been a big internet thing with the back rooms. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about why they freak us out and what it says about humanity's psychology. Let's get into the video. So before I get into the Jungian interpretation of the backrooms, I wanted to talk a little bit about what exactly makes liminal spaces scary by their definition. Okay, so liminal spaces, definitionally, I suppose, are basically transitional places. So like hallways, hotels, like places that you would go to that you're not staying in for that long. And they're typically like empty and kind of distressed and worn down, or like the lighting's a little bit off, or maybe it's like there's no one there even though you feel like there should be a lot of people there. And why this freaks us out psychologically is because obviously humans are scared of going nowhere in their life and kind of being stuck in that phase of like, what am I doing? Where am I going? That's not necessarily comfortable for a lot of us. And usually we see pictures of hotels and hallways that are in use. And so we think like, oh, that's okay because these places are being used to get to the next place. But with liminal spaces, they're endless and almost inescapable. So that's a part of the reason why we get freaked out when we see pictures like that, because it reminds us of our own life and our own fears of not necessarily knowing where the frick we're going. Okay guys, so now moving on to the Jungian interpretation of this. Liminal spaces and the fear of them actually connect a lot to his idea of the collective unconscious, which basically refers to the fears and desires and like loves of humanity in general. For instance, the majority of humanity is probably scared of the unknown. That's a big thing. H.P. Lovecraft, an author, he actually wrote about this as well. It's very common to be scared of the unknown, right? So like that would be correlated to the collective unconscious. And liminal spaces have actually kind of appeared all throughout history, but just in different ways. For example, like labyrinths have been very common all throughout history, like pictures of them and kind of getting like an unsettling feeling seeing them. And that's because they're confusing and a little bit eerie because what the frick is going on in there, you know? So in the same light, liminal spaces connect because it's like, what is happening? You don't know. The second way that liminal spaces connect to Jung is through his idea of the shadow within. Okay, so Jung's idea of the shadow is basically a part of every person that has not yet been integrated into the conscious mind in a healthy way. So the shadow refers to repressed desires and a little bit of darkness within that we kind of run from, and we refuse to accept that side of ourselves. And liminal spaces, it's kind of like if let's say you're in a liminal space, in one of those creepy internet pictures of one, it's hard because it forces you to confront the truth of, which is like you don't know where you are, you don't know who you are, and now you're in this confined space that's inescapable, and it's worn down, and it's weird, just like the shadow self. You know, the shadow self is weird, it's unknown. And so in a way, I think that the fear of liminal spaces kind of points to the idea that someone hasn't really confronted their shadow side in a healthy way. Because obviously the goal is to confront those desires and that darkness and be able to still be a healthy and whole person, instead of battling with guilt and like fakeness. Like, you want to be really who you are and understand each and every part of you, even at the darkest, deepest parts of your heart. Okay, so let's lastly talk a little bit more about just why the pictures are creepy. Like, just get rid of Jung, get rid of freaking Lovecraft. Like, just like observationally, why are they creepy? Okay, so these spaces are familiar, yet something is a little bit off, right? Like, it's uncanny. That's the perfect word. It's uncanny. And that freaks us out because these familiar places that we once knew every corner of and we once knew its purpose are now purposeless and scary. And so I think that's really speaks to our humanity and our need for control and our need to know everything in our surroundings and our plans. So in conclusion, I think that the less scared someone is of liminal spaces, maybe the more psychologically enlightened they are. I'm just throwing that out there. And I will say this, I'm scared of liminal spaces, so this isn't me being like, yeah, I integrated my shadow side. Like, no, guys, I'm scared of them too. But I think that there are ways to overcome this fear, and it's not through just freaking looking at images online. It's through regaining that sense of confidence and almost like a healthy nihilism and being like, hey, I don't know what the frick's going on, but I'm ready for it. You know, like, who cares? It doesn't matter because I'm just existing and being cool. So guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. And I know this was like super all over the place, but if you made it to the end, like the video and subscribe. Goodbye.